How many of you know a girl or girls who have had babies at a young age? As many of us may know, if you or a couple of girls who have had a baby or babies at very young ages, we see and realize that it's not as easy as it may seem. Seeing this should make everyone think twice about the way we do certain things. After having a baby, you don't get every day to yourself, and if you're lucky, you may even get a few seconds. Especially at a young age, we may think that we have all the energy in the world, but we are still so young. We'll think twice just because we are young and people may say we have tons of energy doesn't mean we actually have it. A baby takes up a bunch of time, patience, and energy. I am not saying that having a baby is a bad thing, because it's not. It's actually a wonderful thing. I am here today, though, to persuade you to not have children when you're young and still in school. The things that I'll be covering are the cost, not being able to be your age and doing the things you want to do, and some personal experiences. As many of us may watch Teen Mom or 16 and Pregnant on MTV, we see a lot that happens to these teen parents and the things that they go through. The things they go through shouldn't happen to any teen parent, but a pregnancy shouldn't happen in their teen years at all. Teenagers think they're invincible and that they won't get pregnant at their age because they are so young. But in reality, it can and will happen if you're not being careful and if they are not protected in any way whatsoever. Well, this brings me to my first point. When you have a baby at a young age, most teens don't work and they just live off of their mom and dad. Because some parents just want their children to go to school and not worry about getting a job and saving money for themselves. As more and more teens have children, they tend to realize that it is not all fun and games, and the baby is not like a doll that they can just put away when they don't want it. It's an actual human being that they have to love and care for. When children have children of their own and are not working, they get a huge reality check because they don't have money and they realize that having a child is not cheap. Having a child costs tons of money and puts a dent in most people's bank accounts. If you earn an income of less than $57,260, the total average cost to raise a child from birth to 18 years of age is around $256,550. This includes the cost for public college, and this also is based off of if you're married or not. With this being said, the average cost you will spend raising a child from birth to 2 years of age will be $9,580 per year. The breakdown of this cost is as follows. Housing is $3,520. Food is $1,170. Transportation is $1,170. Clothing is $660. Healthcare is $560. Childcare and education is $1,950, and miscellaneous items are $550. As children get older, they become more expensive, and the average cost to raise a 15 to 17-year-old is approximately $10,500 per year. What teenager is going to make this money within a year to raise a child? No teenager, because they do not work enough to make that kind of money, and if they do work, it's most likely part-time and minimum wage. A small percentage may work full-time, however, they still will not make enough to support themselves and the cost of raising a child. Most of the majority of teenage parents never considered the financial burden of having a child when they are being sexually active and taking the precautions or not taking the precautions for preventing a teenage pregnancy. This brings me to my next point, that by having a child, you will not have the time or ability to do the things you want to do, such as going out with friends, going shopping, or spending money to pamper yourself, staying out late, traveling, going to concerts, and college may be an impossibility till later on in life. Having a child means you are responsible for a helpless human being's life. Being a parent is a full-time job. And yes, there are those teens who have a child and dump their responsibility on someone else to raise their baby. But is that really fair to the child or the person taking care of them? No. If you plan on having a child, it's your responsibility because you're the child who made the adult decision to become a parent. Being a teenage parent is no different than being a parent as an adult. You have the reality that your child will get sick, And when this happens and you're still a student, you will have to miss school, which can put you behind on your academics. You will have to miss work, which means you will lose pay that you desperately need to raise your child. And as I stated before, you will also have the medical expenses that you will have to cover for your child when it's sick. While you are sitting at home taking care of your child or children, your friends are experiencing life as teenagers, and they are getting to be kids themselves. Having a child can and will isolate you from your friends who are moving forward, and they will no longer have the same goals and interests as a teen parent does. For a teen parent, their number one priority, interest, and goals is their child and revolves around their child. Being a parent as an adult is a hard enough struggle, and being a teenage parent brings on a whole different set of struggles. This brings me to some personal experiences that I would like to share with you. The first experience is that my mom, she had me when she was 18 years old and was in high school. And I know from what my mom has told me, it was very difficult in high school for her. And when she was a senior, she was looked at, gossiped about, and made fun of, as she told me. It was a very lonely year for her, and she not only had one friend, or she only had one friend the entire school year, which she lost contact with after high school. My mom is the exception to the statistics to start off with. When she had me and my sister, she was on birth control and did not use protection because she thought that would protect her. She made the decision to not only have me, but that I was her sole responsibility. She finished high school while she worked a part-time job, and after she graduated, she took on a second job that was full-time, and she was a full-time college student as well. She never once went on a welfare system, and being a teenage mother made my mom grow up overnight. She went from being a high school student to being a mother in a matter of minutes. She had no friends that wanted to hang out anymore, and everything she worked for went to raise me and my sister. Even though my mom thinks I'm the best thing that happened to her, she is someone that speaks to and mentors girls like my friends and tries to help the prevention of teenage pregnancy because she knows truly firsthand how hard it is. As I have mentioned, teenage pregnancy is a struggle, and why put yourself in a tough situation when you have almost everything in front of you? Having a child, you have to have the physical, emotional, and financial responsibility of another human being. It is not fair to bring a child into the world and try to raise them when you are only a child yourself. Children of teenage pregnancies are at a higher risk of being dropouts, addicts, or homeless. So before you put yourself in a situation that makes you responsible for another life, think about the consequences of your actions, because a child can't be returned where it came from. Thank
So, Claudia, what did you think?
I thought the thesis was clear and to the point. I liked your example. The beginning though, when you mentioned 16 and pregnant and teen moms, and I just thought you could have used a little bit, explained a little bit what they do on the TV show, because maybe some people haven't seen it. I think you had good statistics, but I just wanted to know where you got that information from. You had a good, clear voice. It was understandable. You had good evidence to the body paragraph. The weak points, though, was I thought you were kind of reading too much. You did make eye contact, though, but maybe just a little bit more. I liked your conclusion. I liked how you wrapped things up, and I liked how you added personal experiences to the body paragraph.
All right. Well, you've been listening this semester. You said a lot of the same things I was going to say. I thought that the opening was good. I think that you could do a little bit better job at presenting to the audience, but you did okay. I thought